Welcome back to the second episode of the Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. Today we're going to be going over the High Wall of Lothric. This area, the first time you can get here, can be quite confusing. It can feel a bit like a maze simply because of the fact that a lot of the areas seem very similar. Instead of going down these stairs to the right, we want to drop off through this cracked wall and defeat this guy at the top here. As if we do not and we go straight underneath him, he will throw stuff at us from above and it will do quite a bit of damage. So after we do that, we don't really want to go down here to the left. That area is going to be a place we can get a shortcut back from later on in the game to shortcut back to the first bonfire. So we're not going to worry about that quite yet, and we're going to continue on to this left-hand side tower. So once we get up here, the first thing we want to do is go straight in and attack the guy I attack here. If not, he will transform, and once he's transformed, he'll become quite a bit more difficult to beat, especially this early on in the game. So once we've killed him, we want to kill the night guy standing next to him, obviously shooting at us. And the reason we've come up here is to get the longbow, which will be sitting right behind him, along with some arrows. These can be used to take out the dragon, for example, or just simply to have a bow. And that is all we're going to be doing in this tower. So now we want to head back to the first bonfire. And this time we want to go down the left-hand side stairs instead of the right ones, and we'll find another bridge really similar to the one on the other side. Do not worry, this dragon will not come to life. There will be a few enemies around here for you if you're not defeated them, but before we go down that alleyway down there, we're going to come up to the left. Here you encounter some more enemies by this dragon. Then you want to come up these stairs and find even more enemies, and all the way up here just for these binoculars. The binoculars are quite cool just for looking at the scenery really, and if you want to take some nice screenshots, as there's magnificent views in this game, which you'd really be missing out if you don't pick up the binoculars in my opinion. So anyway, once you've picked up the binoculars, you want to come down here and drop down to the hidden ledge, which you'll find behind the dragon, and here you can find 2 gold pine resin. For those of you who haven't played the previous Soul games, gold pine resin pretty much enchants or embeds your weapon with electric, making it really powerful for a short period of time. These can be useful if you want to use them against the boss, so be careful you don't want to waste these, as they can be quite expensive and quite rare in most of the Souls games, and I imagine it's not much different here. As you may have noticed by now, we are in the actual alleyway I mentioned before from below the dragon instead of going left. So either way, once you get here, however you get here, it does not matter. You want to come down here and drop down this ladder. You could drop down, but with this much health left, I really didn't want to risk it because you will lose some damage. And you can pick up some souls here. So this bridge can be quite dangerous. The first thing you want to do, this guy on the left, you want to wait for him to be blocking and then just want to do a quick shield break and then get really close to him, press the R1 button to get a nice critical strike in and take him out. As spear and shield enemies can be really annoying at the start of the game for beginner players and really frustrating. So after we've done that, we want to start running up these stairs until we hear a loud noise, then run back as quick as possible and get close to the door. And if you look back, you notice a dragon has flied in and burning pretty much everything along the way. So here we're presented with 2 choices. We can either try and get to the top ledge up to the left above the stairs, or try and leg it down the alleyway to the right. Both ways are valid options, however we're going to be doing the right way down here. And later on, we're going to be coming back for all the items at the top left in its own time. So do not worry, if you're following this guide, we will be going over all the main areas in there. So you want to provoke him to make him burn everything along in the passageway. And as soon as you see the fire disappear, you want to run through there as quick as possible. Don't stop to attack anything until you get to this last area where you notice the flames aren't getting to you anymore. So in this door, you will encounter what's similar to a Bodonite off of Dark Souls 1, which can be pretty difficult to kill at these levels early on in the game. So I'd probably recommend just running past these for now. As soon as you get into the dark room of this tower, what you want to do is you want to run out to the right and climb to the top of the tower. And here we'll be encountering the second bonfire of this area. This bonfire can really come in handy, so when we die from here on out, we haven't got to walk all the way past the dragon again. So the first thing we want to do after resting at the bonfire is go behind the tower here to the left, and we'll be able to find a Titanite shard, which always come in handy. We may as well pick it up. So now we want to go down to the previous floor of this tower and drop down 1 more floor, and here we're going to go out the door. We do not want to continue falling down just yet, and I'll explain why a bit later on. We need to go this way first, and here we'll encounter this roof. You will be followed here by a person if you're not careful, so you could just kill him here. And on this roof we encounter a similar situation where this guy I attack here will transform if you give him time, so you want to go straight in and take him out as quick as possible. And just be careful in case this guy did follow you all into the roof, which he most likely will. Down here on the other side of the roof we will find a crystal listed. He will try to run away. He will not jump straight off the roof. I'm not sure how long you have until he will actually decide to jump off the roof. But for those of you who don't know, they will drop rare sort of stones to help upgrade your weapons. So anyway, now you come down here, you want to come over here just to take this guy out really. You do not want to continue this path just yet, and like I said, we'll come back to it later on. I'm just trying to do this in the most logical order possible. So then you want to come up here to the left. There will be a guy up here with a crossbow, so you want to quickly come in here, take him out, and advance into the room to the right. There will be a bit of an ambush in here, so be careful. And once you've taken them out, you can pick up the item in this room, which will be another Titanite shard. Like I said, they're quite useful early on in the game because having an upgraded weapon really does help you out against these bosses, or even just against the environment. This Boulder Knight looking guy can be quite annoying with the shield and the spear. However, it's not too difficult to take out if you're just patient enough and wait for him to attack and don't attack him while he's blocking. So once you've taken him out, you want to continue through the pathway, the hallway that was behind him. And instead of going straight forwards, there's actually kind of a hidden, sort of hiddenish passageway here to the right if you smash through this stuff. And here you can get some green blossoms at the end of this place. And if you drop down yet again, open up this treasure chest, which the first time through I didn't actually see this treasure chest. And you get a storage straight sword, another item. Here you can see the stats for the storage straight sword if any of you are interested, whether you're wondering if it's worth coming all the way back here just for this or not. So then after that, you're going to have to drop down here. This is quite a challenging room down here if you're taken out from this angle. And I have no Estus Flask left, so I'm going to die. I've acknowledged I'm going to die. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly jump down and try and take out a few of them just so I can pick up the essential items down here. The main item we've come down here for is going to be just down these stairways. Be careful, there will be a dog guard in it, which is going to be the cell key. That is the sole main reason we've come down here. And then up here to the left is another quite important reason. We're going to have an Estus fragment. This is going to be to upgrade our Estus Flask so we can carry one extra Estus Flask back at the Nexus. So, also, under the stairs, there will be one more item, which I may as well pick up now here. And unfortunately, I do die here, straight after picking up the item, which is not a big deal, as I was planning on coming back up to the bonfire anyway. I recommend you could just use a homeward bone, or simply walk up. It's really not that far walking. So, now we're back here at the second bonfire. Whether you got here by instant teleportation, aka death, or you walked back, or you decide to use a homeward bone, either way, the choice is yours. We're back at the top of the tower. This time, instead of going out the doorway here onto the roofs, we want to keep on dropping down. There's a doorway here which we cannot unlock yet. That's going to be later on in the game, so we're going to go the opposite direction. Here there will be a few enemies, so be careful. I've just took the liberty of taking them out to make sure we don't have any more predicaments in this series. There's some throwing knives here on the ground, and we'll also be able to find the mail breaker. Be careful, there's one more guy in here which I did not take out. So once you go down this hallway to the right, we're going to free an NPC from his cage with the key we got from down the other way previously just before we died. He's going to give you a bit of a side quest along with the ring. Anyway, there's nothing much we can really do here yet. Now we've got that, that was kind of the most important part I wanted to get out of the way here. As many people maybe did not know about where to use the cell key or where to get the cell key from. So after you've done that, he will be teleported straight back towards the Firelink Shrine. So you can go back and talk to him anytime you like in the Firelink Shrine. So, just so you can relocate yourselves again, we're back at the second bonfire. We didn't die this time, we did actually just walk back here so you didn't get lost halfway where we're going. Then we want to come back down this way and head towards the dragon again. As you can see, there is a gateway there that says it cannot be opened from this side, so we're going to have to go to the other side to open that. And now we're going to be taking the top pathway past the dragon. The reason we didn't take the top pathway before is because it's slightly more dangerous and you're probably more likely to die. Really, you don't have to go down the bottom right way at any point. However, I do recommend going there first, as it's a lot simpler and a lot easier to get through without getting damaged. So, once he's used his fire attack, what you want to do is try and run up here as quick as possible. It's hard to explain exactly when you've got to go, you just got to take it by a bit by logic, really. We do get damaged here a bit. However, we do make it to the door as quick as possible. The most likely chances are you will get damaged a slight bit. So before we advance any further through this door, we want to turn around and take a check. There's going to be 3 items on this bridge. One's going to be the claymore, one's going to be the club, and I believe the other was an ember. We're going to be picking them up any second now, so we'll soon find out. You can do this without killing the dragon, however you will most likely get damaged getting at least the claymore, which is the one right at the end, as you can see. I do have another video which you can click on up here somewhere if you want to see how to kill the dragon the easiest way without actually getting damaged. It's really simple. You just need the bow and arrow and buy, like, I don't know, 50 to 80 arrows, depending on how high your dexterity level is. Then you want to come down into here. This is a fake chest. Do not try to open it. If you try to open it, you will die. You want to just strike it with your weapon, and as you can see, it comes to life and it will start attacking you. This enemy can be actually quite dodgy. It's not too hard to dodge exactly, but if he does hit you, it will take a nice amount of damage away. And just have a chance of insta-kill, I think, if he does grab you. Luckily, I've avoided that up until now, so I'm not sure if it does actually kill you in one hit or not. So you just want to climb up this ladder here and open up this gate. This is the gate that said it cannot be opened from this side, what we encountered straight past the Boulder Knight. So we're starting to connect up areas now at least. Now we need to head back into the tower yet again, as that was pretty much optional. And now we want to go across this roof area yet again. And this time, as soon as we drop down here, instead of going inside the building, we want to go around to the left. We don't actually want to drop down the ladder. But just around here, we'll find a few enemies. There'll be a bit of an ambush here at the end, so be careful. All there's going to be is some firebombs if you really need them. If not, you don't even have to come this way. Do not go down that ladder. It's a really bad choice. What you want to do is you want to come down here and go behind this roof. It's kind of hidden. And here you can find 3 black firebombs, which are pretty powerful at some occasions. Then you want to drop down onto this smaller roof here. Just be really careful when dropping down. And you want to wait on here until you get a good opportunity to do a plunge attack down on this big axe guy. Makes it a lot easier of a battle. Again, this isn't really even necessary to kill him. It's just if you are going to fight him, I recommend doing it that way. Down here, you will find 2 embers and the rapier, however you want to pronounce it. I have no idea how it's actually said. So then afterwards you want to come out here into this next area. But before we take on this area, however, we are going to connect this area back up to the first bonfire. So you want to come up here to the right, take out the guy with the crossbow. You want to run through here pretty quick. If not, you'll get ambushed quite badly here also. So you don't want to hang around here for too long. Activate this lift as quick as possible, and you want to get out of there. As you can see, there's a lot of enemies trying to follow you. And I'm sure some of you have guessed this by now. You do come out at this area I mentioned straight at the start of this video, where I said that we would be connecting up to. Up there is the guy that transforms, and at the top of that tower is the first bonfire. I'm going to make a quick run from the first bonfire so you can see exactly what the shortcut would be, just for those of you who may be a bit muddled up of where exactly are we right now. I'm sorry if this is becoming a bit tedious for those of you who have got more of an idea and a better sense of location than others. I just want to make sure nobody's getting lost along the way of this guide. So as you can see from the first bonfire, we come down here to the tower to the right, and here we are back at the lift. Small tip with the lift, as you can see when we go down, it's every time you get off the lift, I recommend activating it and let it go back up by itself. That way if you do die and you spawn back at the bonfire, that way the lift is already waiting for you at the top every time you spawn, instead of having to wait for it to come back up every time, especially if it's enemy following or something. It just becomes tedious. So now we're back through this ambush area. We can get some more green blossoms. Again, you want to get out of here as quick as possible, and this time you want to head off to the left just before getting to the crossbow guy. So we can jump off the roof here and find a sacrificial ring, also a large soul just before the roof. The sacrificial ring, for those of you again who have not played the previous soul games, if you have the sacrificial ring or the ring of sacrifice equipped, when you die you will not lose any of your souls. However, the ring will be destroyed, so I don't recommend wasting it. It's just if you want to go into a boss room, maybe to recover some of your souls. If you left a lot of souls in the boss room and then die, and be able to take them back with you to the Firelink Shrine or whatever. So I recommend saving these for now. In this next area, what you want to do is you want to run straight across, and you want to come up here to the left. You can fight these if you really like. I just run past them, to be honest. There's no real need. You can find a weapon up here. It's a type of Hellbird, which can be quite useful if you go into a strength and dexterity build at the same time. Here you want to come off to the right, and this is actually essential. You need to do this to advance in the storyline after you kill the boss. This is also going to be a Covenant leader, but we're going to talk to her, and she's going to give you this small cloth, banner, whatever it is, which is necessary after you kill the second boss to advance to the next area, as well as the Covenant item. You can actually kill this woman right now, and it will start a boss battle, but we're not going to do that because that boss battle is way out of our league so far. That boss battle is automatically activated later on in the game anyway. Up here to the right, I'm just going to quickly show you this. I'm going to die. There is a blue sort of looking Boulder Knight. I keep calling them Boulder Knights, whatever you want to call them. Up here is quite powerful. You're probably going to die against him up here. He does have a drop on my main save. I do have a drop from him. He does give you the sword, which is the Lothric's Night Sword, I believe it's called. I believe it's a rare drop, or at least a drop. You're not always guaranteed to get it. I just wanted to quickly point that out, so if any of you do want to go up there and try and fight him, you might want to come quite prepared. So down here, if we go straight ahead, head down the stairs, we will finally be encountering the second main boss room of this game. I don't want to say it's easier than the first boss. However, with the amount of experience you've probably got up until this point, plus you've been leveling up, maybe leveling up your weapon and all that. If you've been advancing at a proper, adequate pace without speed running through everything, you shouldn't have too much trouble on this boss. I managed to do it first driving with this character, which isn't really leveled up adequately at all. As you can see, I've been speed running through it just to mainly do this walkthrough and show you guys it. You just want to be careful. Always dodge left. If I had to resume this boss fight with one technique, I'd just say dodge left. If you ever just dodge left, you know what I mean once you get the hang of his attacks, and then just sort of stick under him. Once he transforms, or his second phase doesn't really transform, the second phase he sort of does 3 charge attacks in a row, which you want to just make sure you dodge out the way of those as quick as possible without getting any attacks in. And after a while, he'll start charging up like a laser type attack. While he's charging up that attack, you want to run behind him and charge up your R2 attack, and it will interrupt his attack and do a nice amount of damage. And from there on, you just want to keep on doing whatever you've been doing up until now. Keep getting the dodges, and at this point you should have not much health left, so you just want to hit him a few more times and it should be over with. He does get quite aggressive, and he can frostbite you. So after that, that is pretty much the end of this level. I do want to quickly show you this when you come out here. This view is really incredible. This is one of those reasons that you should have really picked up the binoculars earlier on. I might even make this the thumbnail. I think I'm going to take this chance to make the thumbnail for my video out of this scenery, as it is really nice. And once you've done taking a look at that, you can come out here and use the banner you got from Emma, which is the NPC I said about the Covenant leader. So once you've used the banner, you will get carried away in a very similar fashion, like those of you who played Dark Souls 1, you know what I mean, from Sen's Fortress to Analondo. It's a really similar sort of cutscene. Even the same sort of creatures take you there, and they'll be taking you to the next area. And also don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on an episode of this walkthrough, and we'll see you next time.